Hello, I am Super Orange Cat, and I got some Toonami or guess general anime news for you today. There was a bit of a controversy regarding Fire Force since the third episode was supposed to air in Japan last Friday. It was put on hold, and many people believed, oh, does this mean that Fire Force is going to cease production? Is it going to stop for the time being? And will this affect Toonami's scheduling episodes? Since the show is, like I said, just on its third episode, it doesn't have many episodes to air at this point. So Toonami, worst case scenario, would put it in a position where they had to find a new show for the time being while Fire Force is on hiatus. Good news for off the back block is that Fire Force's third episode did air today in Japan, and it appears it'll be airing on a normal basis here on out, which means that Bat Bullet has been dodged, which means that Toonami will be getting Fire Force episodes with no trouble whatsoever. So that long-waited contract for Fire Force will not be in vain, which is good news for Toonami, which Toonami really hasn't had that much good news recently, so that's a good thing to hear. And also another note, the episode that aired in Japan today did have some additional edits to scenes that people believe would be more, quote, how would I say, more traumatic to people regarding this incident, because as you can tell for just the title of the show, Fire Force, it's about fire. However, I think the edits, it'll be interesting to see whether the edits are, and the almost certain likelihood that Toonami will have these edits too, considering that the Toonami editions of episodes are almost always further edited from the original Japanese versions. So, and this is weird because I've seen a brief synopsis of the show. This is a little bit maybe of a spoiler. It's not a heavy spoiler, but it's not simply about a firehouse. Like here in the real world, like firefighting is just a thing where it's like, oh, occasionally a house gets on fire, something gets on fire, and then you have the fire force come out in a truck and put it out. However, this is a bigger deal in the world of the show because there's always the concept of people spontaneously combusting into flames, and this is a big epidemic. So really, there's this ever-present fear of fire happening that's not necessarily present in our world. So, considering that fire is the show, it'll be interesting to note what actually got cut, how did it get replaced, and will this affect the quality of the show? I'm going to put my faith in the producers of the show and in the people animating it that they did it in such a way that's more seamless and that didn't impact the show whatsoever. I like how Tommy, the edits they've made to Food Wars have been small, brief, and almost unnoticeable unless you're really, really trained to looking for it for obvious reasons in Food Wars because it's etchy and there's scenes where there's almost nudity happening. And I believe the first episode had one scene, brief 1 second clip cut because it implied that an octopus was penetrating a female. So, and it's interesting, like I said, I have faith in the edits not being much to the show. However, there's that lingering issue of, is this something that's going to happen every episode? Is this going to really compromise the integrity of the actual show, considering that this is the show? This isn't just like a one-off episode that happens to have a fire. This is what's going to be in every single episode. And again, what do you guys think? Do you agree with the decision by the animators, by the producers, to make these small edits to the show, considering the circumstances? I want to hear your opinions down below. I appreciate your support. If you want more Toonami/anime news like this, please subscribe. Please hit that notification button. And also, please hit that like button. I appreciate your support. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.